Can you imagine being fired from your life's project? And having that sudden dismissal executed in the most humiliating way, while the entire world watches? On the evening of Friday, November 17th, 2023, Sam Altman, the architect of the future and the innovator behind ChatGPT, was at the peak of his confidence. Hours later, that peak shattered, and he found himself ousted from the OpenAI board. This wasn't a regular business failure. It was a direct hit to his core psychological and financial identity. Altman was about to lose everything he had bet on. But he did what a true leader does. He instantly converted the shock into his strongest investment. The issue wasn't the loss of his CEO salary. The crisis was deeper. Altman had staked his reputation and identity on OpenAI. This firing, whatever its motives, shook the psychological foundation he had built for years. A successful entrepreneur suddenly becomes a former employee by a unilateral decision. Psychological analysis. In business psychology, this is known as ego injury, far more dangerous than any temporary financial loss. Altman remembered one rule: a leader's value is measured by their reaction to rejection, not acceptance. What saved Altman, both psychologically and financially, was his ability to completely detach Sam the person from Sam the investor leader. He did not allow emotions to control his planning. The psychological lesson: he applied a golden rule: never negotiate or plan while angry. Separating your emotions and self-identity from your project's valuation is the psychological intelligence that protects your investments and accelerates your comeback. Altman didn't burn bridges. He used the time to assess the market, the behavior that maximizes profits during a crisis. Altman did not burn bridges. He rapidly activated his value network. Within days, the Microsoft board, OpenAI's largest investor, recognized the immense value of Altman's leadership and vision, not just his technical prowess. Financial analysis. This is the true financial intelligence. Altman did not sell himself to a new project. He sold the value he represented to Microsoft. He was immediately hired to lead their new AI division. This announcement served as instant financial and psychological insurance. Looking at the story from a deep financial perspective, Altman didn't lose everything. His massive investment network in companies like Reddit and Helium Nuclear Energy served as an unaffected gold reserve. The financial lesson. This shows that a successful entrepreneur doesn't just focus on their current project, but builds financial assets that are immune to a single company's collapse. Invest in developing your personal value, your reputation and network, as this is the only asset no one can fire you from. The crisis was not over. Hundreds of OpenAI employees threatened to resign and join Altman at Microsoft. This placed Altman in a new dilemma. Should he go toward building something entirely new, or return to fix what was broken? The leadership conflict. Returning meant sacrificing ego and dealing with the very people who had fired him. Building anew meant starting from scratch and taking immense financial risks. It was a tough balance between emotion, building something, and logic, fixing what exists. Altman leveraged his new position at Microsoft and the massive employee support as a financial and psychological bargaining chip that could not be ignored. Financial negotiation. Altman was no longer just an entrepreneur. He was backed by the most powerful tech company. His return came with crucial conditions: changes to the board to ensure stability and governance. This proves that true power comes from defining your own terms after a setback. The shock is inevitable. Failure will knock on your door someday, whether you're a billionaire or just starting. The question is not how to avoid it, but how to turn the hammer that strikes you into a building tool. Don't let failure freeze your assets. Take your next step now. This is the only difference between the entrepreneur who rises and the one who crumbles. Call to action. Share your story in the comments. What was the biggest firing you faced in life, and how did you turn it into an investment? Don't forget to join Breakground for verified and realistic success stories.